Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Celestial Cruises. Holy cow. Hey, Will, how you doing?
Good. How you doing, Walter? Good to see you tonight.
Hey, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it. I see we've got a bunch of folks already here joining us. Folks, if you're new to the channel, I'm Walter, your independent travel agent with Where's Walter Travel. We book your cruises, land, luxury expedition, and most Thursday nights we bring you some of our amazing travel partners. And I bet a lot of you are like, Celestial? What is this Celestial? Maybe you've heard the name before, and I'm so thankful that Will has taken the time tonight to join us. How's that? So where are you? You're like in Phoenix or something?
Yeah, I'm out here on the West Coast. I tease people that I'm in the cruise capital of the world, which is Phoenix, Arizona, but not even close. But yeah, I live on the West Coast, Phoenix, Arizona. So,
You
but I
know,
work across the United States here with Celestial, representing throughout North America. So.
that is awesome. And I'm so excited that you're here because this is such a unique brand. It is a boutique brand. And one of the things that I think was so cool as I was watching the videos during the countdown, I mean, there are names of locations that I really had to scratch my head and go, where are those? Because I've never seen them on an itinerary.
Yeah.
And that's one of the cool things about Celestial. Your ships are small and you go into places where others don't.
No, absolutely. Yeah, there's ones like on our in the Greek Isles, whether it's Patmos, a lot of the bigger ships don't go there. But then on our Heavenly Adriatic, where we do Corfu, Kefalonia, Caracolo, a lot of big ships don't
Nice.
go in there either. So we'll talk about some of the itineraries as we move forward here tonight, Walter.
That is awesome. And folks, if you've got questions, I mean, this is your chance, right? Will is hanging out with us for about an hour tonight. So if you've got any questions at all about Celestial, they're doing some really cool things too. We're going to be talking about the Arabian Peninsula area up there. You're going to be introducing us up there as well. So if you've been looking for something, maybe you've been looking out there at all the same old, and you're like, I don't really see what I want to do in Greece or in that Mediterranean area. Celestial just might be what you're looking for. I'm really excited. I'm really excited. So if you guys have questions, please drop them in the chat. Will has a fabulous presentation that he brought with him, but we will take stops along the way to answer questions as we can during the thing. Let me go ahead and bring up your presentation so we can go ahead and get started. Grab that, do that so we're out of the way.
Yeah.
And there we go. Let me bring this up. All right. So why don't we just start off with, kind of the obvious, who in the world is Celestial Cruises?
Well, I think I'm going to switch to the next slide. I think I can control that, but I think it's also good.
Yeah.
They always say a picture's worth 1,000 words, but a video's worth a lot more. And some of the people that kind of came on before kind of the countdown, they might have seen part of the video, but so Walter, I'm going to switch my screen here and kind of like who is Celestial? Like Walter mentioned, a lot of people on this that are watching this, whether it's live or on YouTube later, like who is Celestial? We're a boutique, fleet of premium ships, right? So we have 2 ships, which you'll see, deep regional expertise, which were founded in Athens, Greece, and we're still based in Athens, Greece. But the things that when I talk to my travel partners and travelers, as far as what makes us different, it's the 3rd and 4th bullet points there when it talks about immersion as well as more ports visited. So, which you'll kind of see on some of the itineraries. So that's kind of who we are. So, I mean, I can explain it, but we have like a 90-second video, Walter. So if you can play the one that's the brand evergreen video, I think it is. If you can play that, then we can all kind of take a look at that and
we'll be happy to
kind of see, when as you're watching it, kind of take a look at compared to some of the big name brands. We have all the cabins, which we'll talk about cabins and food and entertainment, what have you. So kind of look at that, and we'll talk about the ships when we get back with that video.
You got it. And that is so cool. And by the way,
Yeah.
before we go any further, Will, Betty has already issued a challenge. I hope
Oh,
he has a group to Greece soon.
oh, it's a great question, Walter.
Yeah, yeah. No, Betty, trust me, Will has been talking to me about that
Yeah.
already off camera.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And Betty, I was literally just I did, and you'll see the itineraries. I literally just got back from Greece. I did the idyllic Greece, which is a 7 night, but and then I stayed on with my wife, and we did the 7 night Heavenly Adriatic. So I was on the ship for 14 nights. So a great
Wow.
time to come talk about this. Everything's fresh in my mind and what have you. So
Oh,
yeah,
that's
we can work
lovely.
with Walter putting a group for 2026, 2027 for sure. So
Oh boy, putting the
gotta
pressure
squeeze it in,
on.
Walter.
See? I'm telling you, I'm surprised Alex didn't ask that already too. You
Yeah.
know what I loved in that video though? It looks like one of your staff actually did a magic trick with the
Yeah.
napkin. I love that. That was awesome.
Yeah.
It's
No, I
awesome.
was just there. There was a guy named, I'll give a shout out to him. He's from the Philippines. His name's Mark. He works in the Martini Bar area, and
Uh-huh.
they do, not all of them do it, but Mark, he should be on like on America's Got Talent, because I was with maybe 10, 12 people, and
Yeah.
we still can't figure out how he did it. And this is just a guy that's a bartender slash server on the ship, and just has
Wow.
different palettes to kind of entertain people. So
That's
don't know if
awesome.
he's going to be on there when you guys join us, but there are people on board that do the magic tricks at some of the different bars. So
That's awesome. That's
yeah.
awesome. Ah, I love that. That's just one of the things I love about like some of the smaller
Yeah.
boutique lines. You can just kind of have a little fun, and if you got a little extra
Yeah.
talent, show it.
Oh, for sure. And
That's
one
awesome.
of the gals too that she was on there, she's a hostess, so she'll meet and greet people here and there. But then she's a phenomenal singer, so they actually worked her into the
Wow.
amphitheater shows. And it's like, you should be doing that full time. You should not be wasting your talent out here meeting and greeting people, which she's very friendly. But she's got one of the best voices I've ever heard, and so they kind of worked her into the act. So like you said, Walter, some
Oh,
of the
that's
people have
awesome.
talent. And you kind of mentioned that as far as the size of the ships, which we'll get into a second. But
Yeah.
I always tell when I'm talking to travel advisors or travelers,
Mhm.
and if you're listening to this, and if you're traveling and you want the big ships with the go karts and the water slides and the the arcades and what have you, that's not going to be us, right? Some of
Right.
those big ships these days, and those more than I do, Walter. They have what, 7,000 people on them.
Yes.
It's literally
Yes.
a small city.
Yes.
With both of our ships, and you'll see the ships in a second. 1,300 passengers. But as you saw in the video,
That's awesome.
we still have a live show every night. We still have the different bars, and even on the smaller bars, they may have a string quartet, like a Greek band
Right.
playing. They might have somebody playing the violin,
Right.
somebody singing as well. But
That's
just
awesome.
not with 5,000-6,000 other
Sure.
people. So
Sure. So I see you've got the Celestial One up there. So one of
yeah.
the things that Celestial has really is you kind of have like two, and I see we have a couple of questions. We'll get there in just a minute, but Celestial kind of comes with two different types of packages, right? Is that correct, Will?
Well, yeah, technically, yeah. This is our Celestial One you see on your screen right here, and there's one fare, so it kind of makes it easier for you. So on there, it includes all of your delicious dining, and you'll get to the dining.
Yay.
There's going to be some specialty restaurants as well, but also all of your unlimited free pork coffees, your teas, your juices, and sodas as well. Like on the third bullet point there, unlimited sodas. Some of the bigger lines, if you want a soda package or bubbles package, whatever they call it, it's going to be like $8,900 a week per person. Ours is included with that. Complimentary
Nice.
Wi-Fi. We also have all the different onboard activities that we just talked about. But more importantly, all of your port charges and gratuities are included in this one
Nice.
fare, we call it. So we're not going to come back to you before you take off and say, oh, by the way, do you want to prepay for your gratuities? That's going to be another $200 or $300. We don't do that. All that's going to be included with it. But the second one you mentioned, Walter, as far as it's basically, we don't have an alcohol package. Some people do. And when they first announced this about a year ago, I wasn't too happy about it, because people like their alcohol packages, unlimited, what have you. But then we ran into a lot of issues, and some people that are watching this might this might be you as well, that if you have two people in a cabin, both people have to buy the alcohol package. If one person drinks and one doesn't, you both have to buy the alcohol package, right?
Sure.
With us, so this is kind of a way around that. We have what we call Celestial Pay. You're basically depositing money ahead of time that you can use it towards your alcohol as well as specialty dining. So as you see on your screen there.
So specialty dining as well. Nice.
Yeah, so specialty dining and the drinks.
Nice.
the alcohol, I should say. So like I always use the one on the top right, because that's a pretty good middle of the road one. If
Hmm.
you're going to be participating in specialty dining, if you know you're going to participate in some alcohol drinks, um, plan ahead. You can pre-purchase 500 euros, and then you're going to get €100 bonus, right?
Nice.
But if you don't do the celestial pay, you can just do it when you're on the ship, and
Just
you'll
pay a la carte.
just pay on your card, and then when you get off, whatever card's on file. But this is just
Right.
an extra bonus, and also to control your spending. So once I realized that, and
That's
also
cool.
have the card, and I want to buy my wife a drink, I can
Yeah.
buy Walter a drink. It's not like, oh, everybody has to have their own card for the drinks. That's how they keep it separate. Ours, whatever.
Yeah.
I use my card to buy a bottle of wine for the table, or drinks, or a round for everybody. It comes
Yeah.
with celestial pay, so it's a way to control it in a way that
I like it.
everybody has access to the specialty dining and alcohol. So it works out pretty
Yes.
good, honestly. People seem to really like it. It took me a minute just last year when they kind of made the switch. But change is always hard. But people above me are a lot smarter, and this seems to be working. And we're getting great feedback from it. So
Well, and like you hit the nail on the head with the drink package is such a problem because, if one party wants to really have a lot of drinks and the other one doesn't, you're just throwing money away on that second person.
Yeah.
And here, you're basically setting a tab for the stateroom. I love that you can also use it towards the dining. That's actually really cool.
Yeah. And
so
we'll
you
talk
said
about the dining. Here's just a screen as far as the alcohol drinks and
Nice.
specialty dining. That's what the celestial pay for is, for these two things.
Nice. So, and Alex did say, how's the food? And so you just kind of brought up a lovely picture of the food. Now, I don't know if you're going to be biased at all, Will, but how is the food?
Well, the frustrating thing about food, I wouldn't say frustrating, but it's just food's subjective, right? I mean, people come on. Some lady complained a couple months ago, said that the food was too Mediterranean. We're a Mediterranean cruise ship, right? So, I mean, if somebody's, we can handle any of the specialty diets, whether it's gluten free or what have you. We can handle all that. We have since we're speaking about food, I'll kind of skip over this. Here's the restaurants that come with it. We have the Thalasso restaurant, which is more of a sit down, and all these are included with your Celestial One fare. So the Thalasso restaurant is your sit down dining. They wait on you. That's included. The Taverna, which is more of your buffet. We have the Greek Deli, which is more of a casual. It's out by the pool. You got the gyros and pizza. And that's included with it. But then as far as the specialty dining, we have the Pink Moon, which is more of an Asian fusion cuisine. We have the smoked olive, which is more of the Mediterranean.
So beautiful
Italian.
In the pictures. Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous.
And then the Grill Seekers is just kind of what it sounds. It's your surf and turf, steak and lobster, seafood type stuff. I'm not a foodie, but I enjoyed all the food. Some of the things I didn't like, but again, it's subjective. So
of course. And that smoked olive, I was looking at some of the menus at smoked olive. I was like, oh my goodness. So Alex, I can tell you the food looks absolutely amazing. Will, do you have a favorite or two, like a favorite dish or two on board?
I'm a steak guy, so I like the surf and turf. So steak and lobster at the Grill Seekers is always good. But even on the smoked olive, the pastas were pretty amazing as well. So
wow.
But again, if people are watching this and they're concerned about dietary restrictions or preferences, whether it's gluten free or shellfish is another big one, we can totally accommodate everything. So you just let your waiter staff know. You let us know ahead of time. We put that on your file, as well as when you're eating dinner, tell your waiter, waitress, what have you as well. And we do a pretty good job on the menus, kind of distinguishing the different dietary restrictions of what each of those menu items has. So it makes it easier for people that kind of struggle when being on the road, trying to stick with their diets or their limitations.
Yeah. And I had to laugh about that woman with the Mediterranean, because obviously, like, the company is based in Athens. You have such an array of amazing products at your disposal in the Mediterranean. So I would absolutely expect, if I'm coming on a cruise line based in Greece, I'm going to get a Mediterranean forward diet. But then you've got the Pink Moon, you've got Grill Seekers. So I mean, that's pretty that's pretty amazing. I'm going to switch gears just for a quick second, since we kind of took a pause here. But Rick is asking about, so Rick does use a mobility scooter on the ship. How ADA friendly would you say your ships are?
The key word there is on the ship. So when you're on the ship, you're going to be fine, right? ADA is American Disability Act, so
Hmm.
it's America, but we do a pretty good job. Even though we're based in Athens, we had people when I was on there last week on scooters, walkers, what have you, and they were completely
Right.
fine. The issue that we have is getting off the scooter, especially on the Tinder ports, getting off the scooter. And I don't
Right.
know if this Rick gentleman, if he's on the scooter 100% of the time, or if he can walk down the
Yeah.
gangplank or what have you to get off the ship, or those. But when you're on the shore in Europe and Greek and as well as Italy and on our itineraries, it's going to be a challenge because it's not ADA compliant there because you're walking on roads that have been built 2,000 plus
Right.
years ago. But when you're on the ship, you should be totally fine, Rick.
Yeah, that is one of the things that you always have to take into consideration when you're
Yeah.
going to Europe, and
Yeah.
especially with some of the ports that you're going to, they are very
Yeah.
small, so you do have to use tenders. And then once you get there, you're going to get a lot of uneven, a lot of broken
Yeah.
roads, a lot of broken sidewalks and things like that.
Yeah.
But on the ship itself, he shouldn't have a problem getting around.
Correct. Absolutely.
Cool.
100%. Yeah, I was just there. Speaking of ships, I don't know. I'm kind of jumping.
Yep, go
around
ahead,
here.
jump back.
As
There
far
you
as,
go.
As far as the ships, we have the Discovery on your left of your screen there. The Discovery, and again, both these are very similar. I'm just rounding up a few passengers, but just remember 1,300 passengers. Celestial Discovery does our 3 and 4 nights out of Athens, and again, everything's out of Athens, which, with the exception of the winter months, which we'll get into, Walter. But then there's the Celestial Journey that handles our 7 nights, Saturday to Saturday, every single week, whether it's the idyllic Aegean, which is all the Greek Isles, or the Adriatic. The Journey does the 7 nights, and both of them are very similar. The Journey does have the 3 specialty restaurants that we talked about: the Pink Moon, the Smoked Olive, and the Grill Seekers.
Yeah.
The Discovery just has the Grill Seeker and the Smoked Olive. It does not have the Pink Moon.
Gotcha. Oh man, they're nice ships. I mean, they're a nice size. They're not like huge.
No. 1,300 passengers. I mean, for those who are watching this either live or what have you, and Walter, you're the cruise expert. I'm not. I'm an expert about Celestial. But some of the big ships have 5, 6, 7,000 people on it. It is just in trying to get off, especially on a tender port.
You can't do a tender with a ship that big. So what happens is they're just very restricted on where they can go, which you're not. You can pretty much go
there's
anywhere.
Still a couple tender ports like Santorini, regardless big or small, you're tendering.
Right.
Mykonos, right? Mykonos is a big hit everybody wants to go to. We're small enough, we get to port, right? There's some other ships out there in the bay that they have to tender in.
Sure.
Also the smaller ports like we talked about earlier with Kefalonia, Dubrovnik, Kotor, Montenegro. We're very small ports we can get into because our ships are a lot smaller. So you're getting able to see and explore. Remember, we talked about at the very beginning being an immersive company, right? Which we'll talk about itineraries in a minute, but we get to go where the locals go. We get to kind of be your backstage pass, if you would, to these undiscovered places that most people don't get to go on the big ship. So.
Right. And that's kind of what we talked about previously, which is your focus. You're very culturally rich, very focused itineraries, and people even get a chance. You were talking about how late your ships even stay in some of these ports, which is amazing.
Yeah. Well, if you wanted to do that, we can look at, again, I have the staterooms on your screen there just to show you.
Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's talk about your staterooms. You're there. Let's talk about the staterooms.
Yeah, I don't like spending too much time because I'm sure most people have cruised, but we have the inside cabins. We have the outside that has either a window or a porthole. Then on the left-hand side, we call a Junior Dream Suite, which is your balcony cabins. And I've stayed on other ships as well. I think ours are the same width as everybody else's, but ours is a little bit deeper. So it gives you a couple extra feet. And in those staterooms, Walter, as well as I do, you've traveled a lot, probably cruised more than I have. Every little square foot counts in those staterooms for sure.
It really does.
And on the right-hand side, we got this one here in the bottom middle. It's our suites. They're like 350 square feet. So you get a little bit extra sitting room. You got an extra bigger balcony as well. So we can accommodate pretty much every budget and every like or dislike. Some people like a balcony. Some people just want to save some money and do it in an interior stateroom. So whatever it is, talk to Walter. He can, find a cabin that suits your needs.
We can absolutely walk you through all of these staterooms. I've been looking at the booking engine and going through some of these rooms. And the rooms are familiar. Like you said, what you call it a junior suite is what most of us would consider a balcony room. But we can certainly walk you through all the various options.
Yeah, for sure.
Nice.
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 Let's see what else. We talked about the bars. We have bars. We have a casino.
Oh my.
Everybody asks, do we have a casino? We have casinos are a lot smaller. Some of the ships I've been on, some of the big brands that are fit 5,000+ people, they have like double decker casinos, and I mean ours is pretty
Yeah.
small, but we still have a casino area. You see all the different style bars that we have.
Nice.
We talked about the
Beautiful.
restaurants, onboard entertainment, and we do have an amphitheater in both of the Discovery as well as the Journey. Every single night there's going to be a different show, whether it's a singing show. And most of the time, like on the Journey, I was just on for 2 weeks about a week ago. That it's the same show every for like on Monday night. It's the same show twice. So they do one earlier for people that want to go to bed earlier, and one a little bit later around 9:30, 9:45. It's the same show, but every single night you're having a new show, right? Which is great for a smaller ship. And some of the travel partners I was with, they were pretty much impressed with such a smaller ship. We don't have the budgets as the big guys have, but the entertainers that we have on board are really good. Of course, we have the pools that everybody wants to pool.
Before you go on to the pool, what is like the nighttime vibe, but what's the vibe like on the ship?
Yeah.
For folks who've never been on Celestial, what is kind of like the vibe, and then what is nighttime like on the ship?
Well, I can just tell you what I did. I just got back on Sunday from being on the ship for 2 weeks. We go to dinner around 6:30 or 7 o'clock. We typically eat either at the Smoked Olive or the Celestyal restaurant. We try to avoid the buffets. Buffets we did in the morning, kind of a grab and go, just try to get down to our excursion. But at night, we like to be a little bit pampered, have somebody wait on us or what have you. And then we'd go to the show every single night. So I would highly encourage people who are come on board with us, go to the show. And usually after the show, we'd go to a bar and just sit down. And some of the bars had there was one quartet that was not a quartet. It was a Greek band that was playing. There was 3 of them, one on the piano, one on the bass, one on the another Greek instrument, and they would just play Greek music. I didn't understand what they were saying because they were singing in Greek. But that bar was literally probably had 40, 50 people in it, just sitting there listening to it. And some of the Greek people, because we are based in Greece, we have a lot of Greek and the people in that area join us, and they were doing their traditional dances and what have you. So,
so cool.
I love that because I didn't understand what they were doing or the cultural significance of their dances. But my wife and I would sit there for another half hour, 45 minutes, just watching, listening to this Greek band play as well as the people dancing and just enjoying it. So that's kind of the vibe. And if people don't want to, go back to their room and just kind of do what they want. But there's some people, there's something for everybody on the ship. So.
I like that. That kind of leads into Alex's question right here. Are you guys, are you solo friendly, and what would you say is the age demographic on board?
Definitely solo friendly. So I don't have a set percentage on a single supplement, but there is some on some dates. But if that person's asking, just talk to Walter. He could reach out to our reservation department. But we do have solo pricing as well as their solo events on board. Right.
Okay.
They'll have different meetups and different happy hours and stuff like that for the solo travelers. And what was the second question? I forgot.
The second question was, what was the age demographic?
Oh, I honestly, I would say 55 plus. That's probably a good demographic. We're not like there's another name brand which I won't mention, and you're familiar with it. But if you're under 18, you can't go on that ship. So with us, we had kids that were teenage kids. We had some babies, we had some infants, but not a whole lot. But the majority 55 plus, because again, goes back to my comment to set your expectations up front. That if you're looking for the ship that has the water slides and the go-karts and the rock walls and the arcades and laser tag, that's not good. So those ships, I'm not bad mouthing those ships. They're phenomenal. It's just there's something for different people. And most of the people, when I tell them we don't have that, they're like, okay, good, that's good because we don't want that. So if you have teenage kids, they may want those other big ships because they have that. So we do have some kids. I'd say out of the 13, because we had a full ship when I was on there. Out of the 1,300 passengers, maybe 100 people were probably under the age of 18. So not a whole lot, and a couple infants pushing strollers and what have you. But yeah, that's pretty much the demographic.
That's the beauty of cruising. There's a ship and a line out there for
everybody.
So,
Absolutely.
I'm so glad you're here tonight because you are such a cool brand for the Mediterranean. I love this. So all right, let's talk about the pools. You were right at the pools.
Oh yeah, I just showing that we have pools. I mean, this is on the Journey. So the pool on the right is in the midship, and you can see it kind of has the retractable roof. So if it even if it
Nice.
gets a little bit rainy or whatever, they can shut it, and you can still get the fresh sunshine and fresh air without getting wet. And then on the
Nice.
back, that's the same pool, just two different angles. But we do have
Nice.
one in the mid, one in the after the ship. This is on the Journey. On the Discovery, there's just one pool in the middle. So I just
Gotcha.
like to show the case that, because again,
That's
just because
beautiful.
people don't know who we are, and are you guys going to be comparable amenities to the other big brands? And as you can see, yes.
I mean, you're very comparable to what I would consider some of the luxury brands with what you're showing me right now. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd use luxury, but I think we're heading in that direction. We have a lot of the same amenities that the big luxury ships, but honestly, I mean, as far as the price point, I think people, if you guys call Walter to price
Yeah.
it out with us, I think you'll be very surprised. No, I wouldn't say surprised, very happy with the quality, the price point,
Yes.
as well as just the value that you get with sailing with us.
The value of Celestial is phenomenal. I mean, what I see in the pictures reminds me of luxury brand, but the pricing doesn't give you
Yeah.
the sticker shock that the luxury brands will give you.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, it's a great product.
Yeah.
Great product. All right. What do you got up?
Trying to think what else. Itineraries was that? I think that was on our list.
Man.
To talk about itineraries, right?
And one of the things I just want you to tell the folks too, because this is true of a lot of your itineraries. You guys, a lot of ships are like, all right, it's 5:00. We got to go. We got to get dinner service going. We want you back in the casino. We want you, going to our shows.
Yeah.
Tell folks how late you actually stay in some of these
Well,
ports.
I'll share some examples, and on the first two, you're going to see that and these are quick. So these aren't, I don't know. We work with a lot of tour operators that use these. So I'm just going to look at our 3-night. And again, you're not going to be impressed with how late we stay, because in these, it's a 3-night. And these are perfect for 3 and 4 nights for people, like for travel agents like Walter, that if their client has doing a pre or post in Athens, instead of spending 3 or 4 days in Athens, you can do a 3-night cruise. If you look at, get on Friday, get off Monday, but you're doing Athens, Mykonos, Kusadasi, Turkey, Patmos, Crete, Santorini, and Athens. So you're only there in port for maybe 4 or 5 hours, but you get to see a lot. Right.
Wow.
So again, kind of consider this if you're doing a pre or post.
That's cool.
Yeah, very cool. So the next one is our 4-night.
Cool.
So the 4 nights exactly the same, except for on Wednesday you do Rhodes. Rhodes is one of my favorite ports that we visit.
Wow.
But then here's the one that I think you're referring to. And again, this going back to immersion and more ports and more ports visited.
Yeah.
If you look at our idyllic Greece for 2026. Athens, you'll just look at that. I won't name all of them, but Saturday through Saturday, there's no sea days at all. Every single day you're in port. Athens, right to Kusadasi, Turkey. Next year, Rhodes from 8 to 6. Crete, 8 to 10 o'clock at night. Santorini, 8 till 10 o'clock at night. And like you said, Walter, I've been to Santorini 4 or 5 times, and there's always, regardless of what size of the ship, everybody's got a tender in. So you got out there in the middle of the caldera. Everybody, all the big ships are out there tendering back and forth. They all leave 5, 6, 7 o'clock. And Walter, I think we've talked about it. You've been to Santorini, and those who have not been, you have to ride a cable car down off the top of the mountain to get down off the mountain to get into your tender to go out to your ship. And if there's those 3 or 4 big ships that are out there trying to get on at 5 or 6, 7 o'clock at night, there's going to be a 2-hour line waiting to get down the tram to get back on your ship. If not, you're going to miss it. All of our people, they're there till 10 o'clock at night. So they wait for everybody to go down, take the last cable car down, and to be able to enjoy the Santorini sunset. So I tell people, with Santorini, 8 in the morning, so you basically breakfast, lunch, and dinner, morning, evening, and night. You get to experience it. And we've all traveled to a certain destination somewhere that they realize that they've experienced it during the day. But when it turns nighttime, it's a different experience. We want to have people immerse themselves. And like you said, Walter, the big ships, they want you to come back and spend money in the casino and drink more alcohol with us. Spend as much time as you can on port, especially the big hits. The big hits on this one are Santorini and Mykonos. And if you look at Mykonos the next day, we're there from 8 in the morning until 2 o'clock the morning the next day. So it's kind of an overnight, even though you're sleeping on the ship, but you're there till 2 o'clock in the morning.
That's
and
crazy.
Everything's pretty where we dock. It's within walking distance of the port for the most part. If not, we have shuttle buses going back and forth. It's only like maybe a mile and a half to the port, but we're there till 2 a.m. And Mykonos is known for its nightlife for sure. But anyway, so
Nice.
but again, 7 days, all the ports immersive. Heavenly Adriatic, which I just did this one literally last week.
Wow.
Some ports, and again, maybe this is what you were referring to, Walter, as far as maybe scratching your head. Hey, where are some of these ports? But if you look at that, you leave Athens again,
Right.
Kefalonia, and then Dubrovnik, Croatia. We're there in Dubrovnik from noon until 2:30 in the morning.
Wow.
And if anybody's a Game of Thrones fans, this picture on the left is Dubrovnik. Most of
Yeah.
it was filmed there, right? So it was
Wow.
pretty interesting. But again, we get there around noon,
Beautiful.
but you have the afternoon, evening, explore Dubrovnik on your own, Qatar, and all
Wow.
the other ones, 8 to 5, 8 to 5, 8 to 5. Catacola, they were from 8 to 2, but still all these other itineraries. I think if we took all the different times in port compared to all the other big brands, we're going to spend more time in port average. And again, we want our travelers to be able to experience the culture, the people, the food, the sights, the sounds, the smells, and everything that goes with why we travel, to be able to experience on their own, not go get a taste of it and come back to the ship and eat in the buffet. No, you try to spend what you can on some of the ports, some of the ones we have to just because of logistic reasons. But again, we try to give people that experience. And for those who want to do these back to back, like I did last week, we did, let's see, I'm going the wrong way here. There we go. You can do on certain, it's not every week where we go, Greece, Adriatic, Greece, Adriatic. So
hey,
now
Betty,
this is
are you looking at this, Betty? That's the itinerary for Betty right there.
There we go. Yeah. So again, Athens, you look at that 14-day cruise. There's not one sea day. The only ones that you duplicate is Athens, because we do Athens, Greek Isle. On this situation, we'll do the Adriatic first, come back to Athens, and then you go down to the Greek Isles, or you can on some of them you can do the Greek Isles first and then do the
I want to make sure everybody heard that right. This is a 14-day itinerary. There are 0 sea days. You are in port every single day. That is, I mean, show me a mainstream cruise line. In fact, show me a luxury line that has 14 days itinerary with no sea days. That is absolutely stonking incredible. And look at where all that's going. That's an incredible itinerary. Wow.
Yeah, it was phenomenal. Yeah. There was a lot of people on board. I mean, I'm blessed to be able to work for Celestial, so I got to do it. But there was a lot of people that I talked to just in, sitting next to at dinner or different shore excursions, that they chose us because of being immersive. They chose us because of no port days, and they were doing the 14-day sailing. So it's a lot of different ports. I mean, Walter, you're blessed. I'm blessed for working in the travel industry, so we get to travel quite a bit. Yes. Most people will get to travel to this part of the world once in their lifetime, right? So might as well, while you're the big expense part of it is just the flight back and forth.
Just getting there,
right? Just getting there, right? It's a long haul, especially me from the West Coast. You're on the East Coast, so a little bit closer. But once you're over there, try to maximize it. So
that's one of the things that we try to do with all of our clients. It's like, hey, if you're flying over there, what else can we, like, this is the main thing you want to do, but what else can we do? Because you're there, you paid for the big part, which is to get there.
Yeah.
Don't just go over there for a 7 or 10 night cruise. Let's put some land on it. Let's put some other things in, like 14 days, 14 ports. Wow. That's incredible.
Yeah. And one thing I'm going to go back to this, but also what you were saying, I'm going to go up 2 screens. If you have, if there's people traveling and they don't have 14 days to travel and they want to spend some time in Greece and they want to see the most, again, just consider our 3 and 4 nights. Again, 2 ports a day. I mean, you're not spending as much time, but you're seeing a lot in a little amount of time, right? So not everybody's got unlimited vacation or what have you. So consider these 3 and 4 nights, and these are all great itineraries. But I do want to go back. Shoot, I'm going the wrong way. There we go. I'm going to queue up because there's this one right here, the Heavenly Greece. We have a video, so if you can play that one video, it's the Heavenly Adriatic one. We can it's like another 90-second video, but it kind of showcases all these different ports that we've talked about. So if you want to cue that up, Walter,
Betty, pay attention. Here we go. Wow. That is absolutely stunning. And
Yeah.
what I love about that, there's so much in there that you've never seen before because none of like the mainstream spend enough time or can't even go to half the
Yeah.
places that you showed on there. That is stunning.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stunning.
They're amazing ports for sure. So.
Wow. Wow. And Alex wants to know, what is your favorite port?
Oh, that changed last week. I would say I'll share on each of those. On the this one, I would say it's a toss up between Dubrovnik, Croatia, and Qatar, Montenegro, right?
Oh.
And I would, yeah, it's absolutely amazing. And then on this itinerary, um, starting next year, I would say Rhodes.
Oh.
I would say I don't know if
Nice.
you've been there, but yeah, I mean, everybody wants to do Santorini, Mykonos, which are absolutely amazing. But for me, um, Rhodes as far as Greece, but also probably a close second would be Kusadasi, Turkey, because of Ephesus.
Mm-hmm.
We work with a lot. We go there on this as well as our 3-night and 4-night. We do Kusadasi, Turkey, which is where Ephesus is at.
Nice. Nice.
So not to get religious or anything, but we work with a lot of religious tour operators that do those 3 and 4-night cruises with us because they do like Greece in the footsteps of Paul the Apostle because of the Ephesus, where in the Bible, the Ephesians, Paul the Apostle, he preached, and also in Patmos, where the book of Revelations was written. And we have the shore excursions that go up to the monastery and the grotto to be able to do that. So, but yeah, the Ephesus is, and again, even if you're not religious or what have you, you can still go enjoy these places just because the history and the architecture. In Ephesus, you got these places that were, built 2,000 plus years ago, and a lot of it's still standing. So those are my favorite ports.
And one of my questions here, people are really, I think I'm really seeing a shift now where people don't just want to take a cruise and say, well, I've been to Greece. They want to like really immerse themselves somehow with the culture. And one of the things I was going to ask you is, how does Celestial help your guests like really immerse themselves? I think that video kind of showed it. You guys just take everybody right in, and then you give them the time to actually enjoy.
Yeah. I think that's part of it, Walter, for sure, is the time in port to be able to allow. But we also have shore excursions that we offer through the ship. It just kills me. We talk to different people on the ship, and you've traveled, cruise a lot, Walter. You become friends with people or just acquaintances in passing. You start talking to them.
Sure.
We're like, oh, what are you doing on port tomorrow? Oh, we're just going to get off the port and just walk around. And a lot of the ports, it's not that pretty, right? It's industrial and what have you. There's some different ones, like Rhodes I mentioned, Montenegro, that you get off and you're right there in the heart of the town, which is great. But we have some phenomenal shore excursions that include the cultural people that you get away from the port up into the mountains, where you're visiting a family farm and learning how do they make their or how do they make their wine and do wine tasting. And some of the ones they actually have some dancers from the area come in and perform for you. So those type of, it just depends. We have a little bit for everybody, but we have the different excursions. And I always tell people, and I do this on other cruise lines as well. My wife and I always do the shore excursions through the ship, right? I know that there's different options through different third parties, whatever. But for us, we try to support the ship. Plus, if we go on a shore short excursion from the ship itself, we know we're not going to get left behind because they're probably missing the whole motor coach. But those are some things. Just the time in port, more ports visited, and also the shore excursions that kind of give people the opportunity to go see the local people and see how they live and what have you, not just stay there in port. So
nice. I want to go wherever that octopus was at the beginning of that video.
Yeah.
Oh my God, did that look amazing?
You have plenty of options, Walter, when you travel.
You can just you just show me that, and that's enough just to get me to go to Greece, wherever that is. Wow. All right. What else you got there?
Well, let's talk about you kind of hinted at
you got some exciting things happening coming up in the next few years.
Yeah, we got some things coming up. So for those who have not traveled to Greece or Mediterranean, basically from mid-November to beginning of March, the whole Mediterranean shuts down for the most part, right? Especially Greece and the Adriatic. Like even when I was there last week, some of the shops were shutting down. You know, a lot of them were still open, but it's kind of coming towards the end of their season.
Right.
So
Right.
late November, we're taking our 2 ships, taking them through the Suez Canal, and we're repositioning them to the Arabian Gulf. Right.
Oh, wow.
So from December to beginning of March, we're going to be doing the 3-night, 4-night, and 7-night cruises through the Arabian Gulf. You see on your screen right here, this is our Dubai to Dubai. And if you look at close enough on that Monday, you get on the ship Monday, and that is a true overnight. So you actually stay in Dubai, and Dubai is I have not been on this itinerary. I'll probably do this later this summer, or later, excuse me, next December, excuse me.
Yeah.
But then you get a chance to go explore Doha or Dubai on your own, come back to the ship, spend the night, go back the next day and explore all day, and then you're not leaving until 4:00, right? And then you go to Sirbaniyaz Island, Abu Dhabi, Bahrain, Doha. This one does have a day at sea. Just logistically, we needed to do this one.
Right.
But again, then here's another options. Doha, day at sea, Dubai on that one, Sirbaniyaz Island, Abu Dhabi, Bahrain, Doha. We have another one, iconic. Anyway, so just different options for people. This one goes a little bit over to Fujairah and Kasab over here a little bit further east. Again, so if you're the a traveler that's cruised all over the world and you're looking for something different, the only port I've been on this one. If you look at this on the
you just knocked off the screen share. No worries. Here, I'll put this back for now while you get that back on. Now, the when do the Arabian itineraries start?
It starts December.
December of this year,
yes.
Next month.
So,
awesome. For some reason, I had it in my head that it was starting next year, but it's actually already starting. Nice.
So, did my screen come back up for you or no?
Not yet. No. Oh, wait, here it comes. Folks, look at this. We're doing this on live television. He can do it. There it is. Okay.
I hit the wrong button on my mouse and it.
You know what? Who hasn't done that, right? Who hasn't hit the wrong button with their mouse?
Oh,
there we go.
Okay. So let me scroll all the way down. Yeah, so we kind of did it partly last year, kind of a shorter season, but this year was full-fledged. So again, going back to my comment with people that have cruised everywhere, this is something totally different. The only destination I've been there, they flew us out to Doha a couple months, Labor Day weekend, that we had a sales meeting in Doha, and it was clean, it was safe, it was absolutely amazing. I was only there for 2.5 days, and not on the cruise ship, but anyway, we had a meeting over there. But yeah, it's just the opulence and the amount of money that they have over there is absolutely insane. And again, it's safe, it's clean. Anyway, if you're that traveler out there watching this, call Walter. He can hook you up with go to the Arabian Gulf.
Alex actually has an interesting question. Do you think there will ever be a point that one or both of your ships might come over, say, do a Caribbean season or come over towards North America?
Yeah, I'm not privy to that. Those decisions are made way higher than I am. But I honestly, I would probably say no, Alex. Years ago, we used to had a Cuba cruise. This was years ago, probably 10, 15 years ago. But there are talks of other ships, adding maybe a third ship, fourth ship. That could be 6 months down the road. It could be 2 or 3 years down the road. But there are talks of it, which is great. But we're going to stay in the Mediterranean. The Caribbean is kind of oversaturated. There's too many ships over there. So we're going to stick with our bread and butter over in the Mediterranean as well as the Arabian Gulf. So I can't see us moving back to North America. So again, the comment you made earlier, Walter, there's cruise line or cruise ships for everyone. So that's just truly not us. We'll try to stay where we're at and do what we've kind of perfected over in the region we're at. So
no, it's great. I think it's absolutely fabulous that it's not so much that you're going to stay in your lane. It's just you do this so well and you do it differently than pretty much everybody else. And it's really that connection, right? You're essentially a local cruise company in Greece, which is awesome.
And if people are looking to do the Arabian Gulf, there's only I think there was 3 of us, and one of them just backed out completely. So there's gonna your choices are kind of limited. So that's gonna,
Right.
again, just to offer something that immersive, something different for
Right.
people as well. So
And your ships are going to go through the Suez Canal. Now, are guests going to be on board when the ships go through?
yeah, we're offering what we call repositioning, getting it from one season to the other one. We're going to go through Suez Canal, get on Athens. We're going to stop in Cairo. We're going to stop
Uh-huh.
in Jordan, a couple other places. I think Crete, Santorini, and then everybody's getting off in Jeddah in Saudi Arabia, and then the ship, because it's going to take, they said, like 14 days. So the first 7 days there'll be passengers on it, and then the next 7 days over to Dubai they're not. So,
Gotcha.
and then but when we bring it back through this next March, they're just going to bring it back empty with crew on it. I don't know why, but that's what they're doing. So,
Gotcha. Okay, no, that's interesting, because obviously the Suez Canal has not really been accessible for a while, so at least passengers will be able to go through part of it and experience that. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Rick is really liking the look of the desert. Desert days look tempting. He'd been there and would love to have his wife go see it. Wow.
Yeah. Well, this is one of those great things about cruising, right? Because these are all like between Dubai and Abu Dhabi, it's only like a couple hours driving time. But I don't know how many people would want to drive in that part of the world there. So now you get a cruise ship, drops you off in port, do your stuff, and you're good to go. So you get to see all these different ones. And one thing I like to point out, this is kind of neat. If you look on your screen right now in the bottom middle, you got you got giraffes, you got a safari vehicle. So people have asked me time and time again, and even on our brochure. So I got a brochure here. I don't know if you can see it, but on our brochures, we have like a safari. And people are like, well, you guys, that's not really Africa, but that island that you see there, where the safari in the middle bottom of your screen, Doniyaz Island was I don't know the gentleman's name, but some rich guy bought it years ago and converted it to an animal sanctuary. So one of your excursions, you can go out and do a safari, and they just don't have the big cats. They have like none of the tigers and jackals and what else they would call hyenas and stuff cheetahs. They don't have that, but they have all the zebras and the gazelles and the giraffes and stuff like that. So you can kind of do a safari if you would, something a little bit different. So I'd wanted to point that out as well. Yeah,
that is really cool. And again, that's really, like you said, there's only 1 or 2 players in the game right now that are up there. So if you want to see this, and what a cool way to do it on your ship. Nice, small, almost. It seems like I was watching some of your stuff on YouTube, because I have not gotten on your ships yet. We're going to rectify that at some point.
We are.
But it almost feels like a family atmosphere, if you will. Like, welcome to the family. Come on board.
Yeah. It is, and the feedback we got from our travel partners that I hosted a couple weeks ago, they couldn't believe that, whether it's the waitresses, the bartenders, their cabin stewards, that they like, hey, they know us by name, they call us by name. So it is kind of a family when you're on there, for sure. And because it's a lot more intimate, because you got maximum, if we're sold out, 1,300 passengers versus 3-4 times that amount on the bigger ship. So
sure. So it is a lot. It is a lot more intimate there. Yeah. Is that the last slide there?
That's the last slide. That's all I have. I don't know if there's any.
You got it.
Keep on the screen
I'm just gonna put you back up here so everybody can actually finally see you again. Hey, Alan, how are you? Welcome. So what is your favorite? These are just some of the fun things I like to ask anyway. Yeah. But what's your favorite guilty pleasure on the ship?
I don't drink alcohol, so I don't really care about the bars. To me, it sounds silly and it's kind of cheesy, but I really enjoy the show every single night, the amphitheater lounge. Yeah, so that's every night we make sure that we're there. One of them when we were there a couple weeks ago, we caught the tail end of it. Actually on that night we went to the first one. We had a pretty bad seat because we got there late and we were off to the side. We're like, you know what, let's just sit through it again. It was the same show, but we had a better seat, different vantage point. So for me, my guilty pleasure is
the shows,
the amphitheater shows, as well as far as dining. If there's foodies out there, our Thalasso restaurant's great, as well as the Grill Seekers. The surf and turf's really good. So steak and lobster.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And you said some of your favorite ports earlier, but what is like what has been like one of the most amazing or maybe the most memorable thing that you have done on shore?
I would say, and well, I stopped sharing my screen, but I would say, as far as what impacted me the most, Walter, as a traveler, was Ephesus
Mm,
and Kusadasi, Turkey, right?
wow.
Because you read about it, and again, not to get religious, but you read about it, the Ephesians in the Bible, what have you. But you go to Ephesus, and again, I don't have I'm looking at it because I have a different monitor, but to me that was very impactful because these city Ephesus was built 2,500 years ago. They had running water, they had toilets, they had heated walls,
Wow. Wow.
2,500 years ago. And there's one that we it's one of our shore excursions. It was Ephesus and the terraced houses. The terraced
Okay.
houses is an active archaeological dig that you get to
Hmm.
go through. It's kind of terraced going up the hill, but they've only uncovered, I think, like 8 or 10% of this hillside, and you get to walk
Wow.
through, that. To me, it's like when they're pointing out,
Wow.
the tiles and the mosaic um, pictures on the floor that 2,500 years ago they built, and you can still see the mosaic tiles that make a picture of Medusa or a lion or what have you. To me, that was the most impactful. The other stuff's beautiful, but to me, if I was to
Wow.
pick one impactful port, there's some great ones with Dubrovnik, Katakolo, Greece, or not
Hmm.
Katakolo, Qatar, Montenegro. Those are beautiful and phenomenal, but the most impactful, probably Ephesus.
Wow. And I think you just nailed it why we travel, right? Like we
Yeah.
read about this stuff, you might see it online, but when you're actually there, I mean, there's nothing that will ever replace being there.
For sure. And sometimes it's surreal because um, you you read about it, you see it on the History Channel or the Travel Channel or different YouTube videos, and then you're there. You're in Santorini, overlooking. You're up in Ia, overlooking the blue dome roofs, and you get your Instagram picture. Or you're in Ephesus. Or it was interesting. I'll share a little. This is kind of silly, but my wife and I are big Amazing Race fans. It's a reality show on TV where they race around the world, what have you.
Yep.
But
Yep.
we just got back Sunday. Today's Thursday. We just got back Sunday from being gone for 2.5 weeks, and we were in Dubrovnik, Croatia. And then, sure enough, on that Amazing Race, and this was a couple weeks ago that they filmed it, or probably 6 months or so. But they were in Croatia, in Dubrovnik, and where they did one of their little activities. We were literally there taking pictures, so it was neat to kind of be like, hey, we were just there. We just experienced it. That's right. We had better weather
Uh,
than they did because it was raining on them on the show, but when we were there, it was beautiful. But again, that's why you travel, because you travel to see how other people
right.
live and take away our own prejudices when it comes to whether it's the food or way of life or whatever it is, and just go
Right.
enjoy it. Right? We're pretty
Right.
spoiled here. Um, in the United States. I think most of the people will be watching that here. But you go to these other places and it's like it's just amazing. I just can't get enough of travel for sure. Maybe that's why we're both in it, Walter.
I mean that's why we travel. I mean, there's nothing better than breaking bread with somebody you've never met, and by the end of the
Yeah.
conversation, you've got a new friend, right?
Yeah, absolutely, for sure.
Right. So that is just absolutely the best part of travel, and I absolutely love it. You're getting some great Kathy. Kathy's loving sounds like a archaeological dig, very cool, similar to the Egyptian tomb. And Mimi says a facious and archaeological dig caught your attention.
Oh, good.
I mean, that's the thing. You are literally walking through history, right?
Yeah.
Wow. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. And Betty, by the way, you brought up Amazing Race. Betty showed me that there are actually excursions out there where you do like these mini Amazing Race things in various ports.
That I've not heard of that. We do not offer that, but I'm sure there might be a third party, Walter, you have access
Oh
to
yeah,
be able to help
it's
people.
it is a third party thing, but
Yeah.
wouldn't that be kind of fun, like recreating maybe an Amazing Race activity or something like that?
That's we've it sounds silly, but we've been fans for years and we always watch it. And anyway, it's one of our guilty pleasures for sure.
Not silly at all, man. It's a great way to, explore the world from your television and see places you want to go,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
That's amazing. Well, gosh, we've already been talking about an hour already, Will. Can you
Yeah,
believe
it's
that?
coming up on an hour. Yeah. Goes quick.
Wow. Wow. So folks, I'll remind you, I'm Walter, your independent travel agent with Where's Walter Travel. We've been visiting with Will this evening with Celestyal Cruises. They are an incredible boutique cruise company based in Athens, Greece. So if you want to see Greece, if you want to see that area of the world, and now if you want to go on up to Dubai and that area of the world, Celestyal Cruises is who you should be looking at, and we can certainly help put you into some amazing itineraries up there. This has been fun, Will. I
Yeah, it's
can't
been
thank you
great. I
enough.
appreciate the invite and the opportunity to spend the last hour with some people live as well as future people in on YouTube and what have you. But I would just encourage you. Walter's knows what he's doing, not just with Celestial, but overall. So just reach out to Walter, and he can help you, travel the world. So
I appreciate that. I appreciate you taking the time. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Folks, I'll be back on Sunday morning at 10:30 a.m. answering your cruise questions. But again, if you have any questions about Celestial, you simply reach out to me. And if I don't have the answer, I'm going to call Will, and we're going to get the answer for you. And hopefully we're going to get you on a Celestial cruise soon. So again, Will, thank you very much for joining me tonight.
all right, thanks everybody.
All right, everybody.
All right,
Wherever you are in this amazing world, have a great evening.
hey, take care, everybody.